Get ready with me while I talk about my realistic figure skating goals for 2025. Also, Morphe sent me their entire new lineup of makeup brushes, so I'm gonna be using them for the first time today to do my makeup. Okay, firstly, let's talk about my figure skating jumps. I would love to be able to say that this is the year that I get my axle, but realistically, I just don't think that it will happen. I think that my main goals are to have a clean flip and lutz with lots of speed going into them. I also want to start doing axle prep, which is like exercises to start learning the axle, and then I want to maybe try to do the axle jump for the first time. Axle is literally the hardest jump to learn, and for some skaters it may only take a few months, and then for other skaters it may take an entire year. On the other hand though, I want to land my axle off ice, which I think is a lot more doable and could be the first big step into actually landing it on the ice. Right now my off ice axle is like a half under rotated, so I feel like getting it fully rotated off the ice could be doable this year. While we are talking about off ice, another goal of mine is to do more off ice in general because I've never really done it consistently. I would maybe do it like once a month if I really felt motivated. So far this year, I have been able to stick to doing it at least once a week, but my goal is to amp it up and do it every single day after I skate. So like, let's say I go to the rink and I practice for an hour. When I get home, I would want to do like 30 minutes of off ice just to end my practice off with. This year, I also want to focus less on competing and more on testing my moves in the field, which if you don't know what moves in the field are, it's basically just a series of tests that test like your edge work, turns, your control, and your power on the ice. There's 8 tests total and I've already passed the first 2. I'm working on the third one, which is pre-juvenile, and I think that I am really close to being ready to test that one. I could honestly probably test it within the next 2 weeks, maybe by next month, and have it passed. So my goals for this year are to test and pass pre-juvenile, start learning juvenile, which is the next one, pass that one, and then either by the end of the year start learning intermediate or pass intermediate. I also don't even know if I'm gonna compete this year. Honestly, last season just really burned me out. As far as right now, I don't have any competitions planned and I don't know if I'm gonna plan any. Although last season was so fun, I was just so burnt out to the point where I was like debating quitting entirely just because I felt so bad and competing just made me feel so awful. Lastly, I wanna talk about the spins that I wanna learn. I really want a better camel spin and a better back spin. I also really want to learn new combo spins like camel sit, and I also want a better catch camel, and then I think I want to start learning new sit spin like variations like the pancake or like broken leg. Those are my realistic figure skating goals for 2025.